we're going to go shoulders up and then shoulders down. Shoulders up, and always see if you can touch your earlobes, and then shoulders down. So big squeeze, shoulders up, and then shoulders down. Now think about what's happening with your head. So is your head set forward? So think about getting length at the back of the neck, tuck the pelvis under, shoulders up, and then shoulders down. Nice squeeze. As you lift your shoulders up, keep an eye on what we're doing with the energy. We're pulling it in. 2 more. Then we're going to go shoulders forwards, and you can move a little bit here, get some space between the shoulders. Shoulders back, take the palms facing outwards. And then again, shoulders forwards, and you can look down, shoulders back. And again, notice what's happened as you're pulling in the energy. Is the pelvis tucked under? Have you got equal weight down to the feet? Pressing down into the floor. Then you can add in if you want. So you can go up, baby butt bends, looking up, sweep the arms down, shoulders down, slide the hands down, and you can go into your forward folds. So your choice, as much work as you want to put in there. I'll go 3 more. See if you can breathe out as you go into your forward folds. And then breathing in as you lift and rise, send the energy up, pulling it in. You can almost work vertebrae by vertebrae. You can go really super slow through the roll down. Last one. Coming into centre then, we're going to go neck release, shoulder glide, and side bend. Haven't done this for a couple of weeks. So take your ear down to your shoulder, but think here about where the pelvis and the pelvis and hips are doing. So we're not tilting, keeping everything kind of facing forwards. Then go into your shoulder glide. Then recenter, reach the arm up. Press down with the feet, go over into your side bend. So if you can just go really slowly, go same side, 3 more. Neck release into the shoulder glide. And then you can kind of start getting into a bit more of a flow. So see if you can do it without pausing. Kind of like a really slow kind of robot almost motion of going through. Again, try and keep your hips still. Last one. Press down with the feet, drawing in the energy. And release. Other side. We're going to go 4 again. Start with the first one, you can pause and kind of find your stretches. And then the next 3, see if you can work through without stopping, but really slowly. Try and keep the hips still. Start pulling in some energy. Nice and slowly, just flowing through, breathing out. We're almost nearly all synchronized here. We've had music on, it's almost a music video. Something like Enya. Last one. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed here. Okay, and release. Now, if you've got your weights, you might want to put them in. We're going to go scapular set. So, shoulders down and back, palms up, elbows tucked in, pelvis tucked under, and then go with your scapular set. So try not to bring, so where your elbows are, try not to have your elbows set in here, because you kind of want to get the space here from the shoulders to the chest. So take them down and back and then open. If anything, they could be at the back of like your body instead of at the front. So more in here. Stay strong in the wrist. So think about the shape that you're making. So we're not in that position, or we're definitely not in that position with the wrists. So a little bit of almost like a fist shape. Then just for a little bit of balance and a little bit of work with ankles, take 1 foot forward. You have to lift it this high, I'm just showing you because of the camera. And then just take a circle. So just take a little bit of a balance. Anchor yourself with your big toe and your glutes. And it's actually really hard to draw a circle with your foot whilst you're drawing straight lines with your hands. I don't know if anyone else has found that. Swap the feet. So it's about 3 circles one way and then 3 the other. Why is that so difficult? So then we'll go to our squats. So you can stick with the weights on these ones if you want. Get your feet parallel, hip width, bend the knees, hips back into space. Front raise with your weights, then circle it around and go up towards the ceiling. And then again, into the squat. Squeeze glutes, lift. Think about this energy center now then. So you're pulling in the energy. Keep it pulled in as the arms go up and over. Try not to arch the lower back. Tuck the pelvis under. Think about what the feet are doing. Have you got equal weights? Heels, toes, both sides of the feet. Are you gripping with the toes? Maybe try and let go a little bit if you're gripping. So you're grounding down through the feet. Looking forwards. I know you might be looking at the screen, but if you can, try and look forwards, particularly as you take your weights over your head. Just so you get the length of the back of the neck around the head. Shines towards the ceiling. 2 more. So, again, you can stick with the weights. I'm going to just adjust the camera slightly. I know I normally put this in the single leg exercise, which we are going to do in a minute, but I'm just going to add it to the normal routine. It's single leg deadlift. So think about taking one leg back, do 8 one side, 8 on the other, so don't switch in between. Just start by taking it halfway, but have loads of control. Center, and then, I mean, you can't see me, then put a shoulder press in, okay? So you're just going to go halfway down with lots of control. Come to upright, and then put in a little shoulder press. So it's very much a balance exercise. Now, as you're coming halfway down, you can really think about the foot that's going back in space. Kind of shine the sole of that foot up to the ceiling. So if you bring that to your focus. And then hopefully you get kind of the glute, the hamstring kind of connection in there on that other leg, but also the glute hamstring strengthening on the deadlift. Try not to grip with the toes, so again we're working with the grounding, down into the balance. Pull the energy in towards your core. Then we're going to swap legs, same thing, we're going to just halfway down, and then to a shoulder press. So it's almost just tilting the head, the shoulders, the chest forwards. Then lifting it, getting to the upright, good strong posture, pulling in the energy to the center. Start thinking about the sole of the foot. So we're increasing kind of what's happening with the glutes on that back leg. Last one. My favourite then, the wide squat circle. So take a big sumo squat. You can allow the feet to turn out slightly. Now your choice with, without weights, or one weight, two weights. Bend the knees, come down nice and low, maybe a wiggle side to side if you tighten your hips. Hold on to your weights then, drawing a really massive circle in front. But focus on keeping the head still, facing forwards. Try and keep the shoulders as relaxed as you can. Breathing in left, breathing out lower. Now notice if you're gripping the toes. And again, see if you can let go of the gripping and think more about kind of weighting, grounding down through the feet. Find the center, keep the pelvis tucked under. Come back, focusing on the head, being still. 2 more. Last one. Okay, so last exercise now, with or without weights. Take a high knee, so just a high knee balance. And then, you know, when I say that, it doesn't have to be up here. Just gently bring the knee up. But make sure your hips aren't tilting. So we're not kind of lifting the knee and like hitching. So try and make sure the hips are kind of centered. Draw the energy in towards your core. High knee. Then you could take running arms or option bicep curl. So kind of depending on your function, if you kind of want to have good looking biceps or triceps, you just place like a bicep curl but place the palms downwards, that's the backs of the arms, or whether you want to work with your running kind of arm action, drive the elbows back. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and then switch. I think we might have done this one last week too. Use your big toe as your anchor, use your glutes. Find again the energy and draw in towards the core. But I've got a little add-in today and we're going to use this add-in a bit later as well. So just try, and this is going to be hard. See if you can look to the side, center, and then side, and then go again. Side, and it really can kind of knock off the balance. So it's just a nice little challenge. So again, just a little bit of work with the neck. Oh, what fun. Okay, putting the weights down then for a sec. Hands at heart center. So imagine, I'm not going to do loads of this today like last week, but imagine when the hands come together. It's almost like left and right sides of the brain reconnecting. So this idea of integration of everything with the body. A little bit of pressure into the palms then. Again, draw in the energy to the center. Tuck the pelvis under. Grow nice and tall, crown of head goes to ceiling. Just lifting up one foot. Now, if you liked the tree last week, you could play with tree or just hold the balance. But the main thing we're going to do here is close the eyes. So see if you can close the eyes and count to 5, holding your balance. And then release and take your heel lifts. 8 heel lifts. Work up through the ball, kind of over towards the big toe, through the ball of the foot, squeezing the glutes. Imagine that energy you're drawing into your core like a big ball of light, or the sun, like energy like the sun. Then we're going to swap sides. So start with kind of the grounding exercise, press it down into the feet, bring the palms together, shoulders relaxed. Start to draw in some of the energy into the core. Then when you're ready, try and close your eyes, count to 5. Then release. 8 heel lifts. Try and work these connections, the foot, the glutes, the core, shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Couple more. Okay, then just a little bit of a big shake out. Single leg exercise. I'm still going to do that. I think it's an important one. Again, it's your choice. So you've got your single leg dips if you want to use a step, which we've done before, and you can either do that standing. You've got your lunges or the chair exercise. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm actually going to do dips with the idea of like a compassy clock. So 10 on each leg, so we're just going to do a little maintenance because we've already done a bit of single leg on the single leg deadlift. Thinking all the time what's happening with the arches underneath the foot being parallel, engaging with the big toes, the little toes. Mainly this is a knee strengthening exercise, that's why I think it's important to do it every week, because if we don't, I think the knees will, once we've started doing this, the knees want it. They want the load put onto them to maintain the strength. So the main focus will be what's happening with the knees. So we're trying to make sure it's in an alignment. It's not wobbling, it's not pronating in, it's not ridiculously turning outwards. We're thinking hips as well, so try not to let the hips kind of crumble, I would say, like the pelvis turn inwards. You can go, if you're back in on the room and you're waiting, you could go down to downward dogs. That is where we're going next, downward dogs. I'll just wait for a few more people to come back in. Okay, yeah, so let's all go downward dog. I'll just adjust my camera. I'm going to take my socks off as well, because I guess it's the heat. My feet are hot. So spread the fingers, send the hips up towards the ceiling, send the chest towards the thighs. If you don't feel comfortable with your downward dog, you can always go with your puppy dog position. Perhaps a little pedal through if you're a little bit tight in your hamstrings or calf muscles. If you feel like you're not getting a stretch on the backs of the shoulders, do just think about bending the knees a bit deeper. So kind of think about that chest to shoulders action, and then you can work at sending up the hips, but you've got that nice straight line from the hands going up towards the hips. So